Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC here. Today we have a pretty interesting video. So in on the Facebook official group, they do surveys, and with the surveys or questions that they ask to development, it's a place where people can offer suggestions and or ask questions, and then the development for Art of Conquest can respond to it. They gave us way too much information, which I'm thrilled about a update coming in September. So as you can see from the original request, somebody is asking about being able to deploy heroes into the Garrison to help keep the Garrison alive. And the developers came up with a really interesting answer. So before we jump into that answer, make sure that you like, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you can get future notifications every time a new video comes out, or if I happen to be live streaming that day. Also, question of the day. Feel free to post this in the comment section below. If you could ask me any question, what would you ask me? It can be about the game, it can be about real life, it can be about anything. I'm going to do a future video with these questions, so feel free to write your questions in the comment section below. So, the developers of Art of Conquest came out with a really interesting answer. What they said was, in September, in an update in September, you'll be able to deploy your dragon into your garrison. Like, mind exploding. So this is a massive, massive thing when it comes to Art of Conquest, when it comes to your garrison defense, when it comes to different ideas. So what we'll do is we will switch from this and jump in game. So I have a few questions when it comes to this. I don't know any future information, by the way. I just know what you guys know as far as right now. So there's immediately two things that come to my mind. The first is if we go in and we deploy our dragon into our garrison, every time that we're attacked and that dragon is deployed, is it going to take up one of the energy of the dragon? If this is the case, then I think this will still be used, but it will offer a really weird spin on everything. Option number two, if it does not use the energy of the dragon every time somebody attacks, that's going to be huge. People will put out their best dragon or a couple, and that's going to make Garrison super, super strong for players. Insanely strong. Which then I don't even know what they do with the guard towers, or would they include dragons in guard towers? I'm not 100% sure. If they make it so that every time the dragon is deployed in the garrison, it eats up an energy, what I suspect people will do is people will make new dragons and really on a war server where people are getting sieged a lot. Like if I was getting sieged daily all day, I would make multiple dragons. Not at the same time. I'd deploy one, and once that energy is depleted, I'd replace it with another dragon, and replace it with another dragon as the energy goes down. I mean, one dragon, if you bring it all the way up to level 50, you get so much energy. I don't think that's for everybody, because that means you have to have enough extra dragon glass for a third dragon, and you'd be sacrificing a lot. But I think that is something that people might do, probably not everyone. The vast majority of people probably won't deploy the dragon if it takes up dragon energy. If it takes up dragon energy, it might be something that you do in dire situations. Say you lost PvP, all of your troops are gone, you're out of troop rush, it's your last stand, put your dragon in there. So I'm going to go through a couple of my picks for dragons for the garrison, which happen to be my dragons, because I have a tough time deciding which dragon I would put in my garrison. So the first one is, we'll look at my main dragon. The reason why I would want to put this into my garrison is mostly for noble blood. With noble blood, you get a lot of healing, so for a lich garrison, noble blood would be really, really strong. It might even be that for every garrison, Sorry about that. For every garrison, you might need noble blood. You get a massive amount of army healing from noble blood and increased or decreased damage received from physical. Not only do you get all of that, but you also get a last talent. So human pred, for example, would be amazing if you were being attacked by humans or Rockins or even dwarfs to reduce some of the blaster damage, although that really won't make too much of a difference. However, having the dragon in the garrison will open up more possibilities for the final ability. War Song could be absolutely massive if you have a lot of melee in your garrison. Absolutely huge. War Song will definitely be seen in the garrisons. True Shot might actually make a comeback. If somebody has like an event dragon, which typically is True Shot dragon or Magic Pred, the True Shot ones would benefit the archers on the wall so much. I would. Okay. I wouldn't actually deploy it, but I would think about it just because of all of that juicy archer damage that could come out. They might be able to kill off the heroes. So my first go-to thought and or idea is a noble blood with either War Song, Blessed Humanoid if there's a lot of humanoid opponents, probably whales on the server. So humanoid whales on the server, and also Hero Pred. Hero Pred and Noble Blood might actually be the best combination. I'll cover that with the next dragon. That also brings me to my next thought. If the dragon is injured in the garrison, is it then injured and you can't deploy it and you have to wait, I don't know, the 12 or 16 or 20 hours for the dragon to heal? So there's a lot of questions that I have. Again, we're not going to know the answers. I'm just totally speculating on all of this because I think it's such a cool concept. But anyways, the other dragon that I would consider would be a Hero Pred. So I think Hero Pred dragon for the garrison is probably the best choice. The reason for that is your troops would deal more damage to heroes. So the Banes that come out, the Belrogs, the Denjis that the archers take a while to actually kill will die a little bit faster. Not as fast as with True Shot, but still fast enough. And if you look at most sieges, the heroes do more damage than the troops for the most part, or they have the possibility of doing more damage. So I think that the Blessed Hero Predation would be huge for your garrison defense. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and this is what I struggle with. Do I go for Noble Blood, which would give me 15% reduced damage across the board, and some healing, or do I go for the Onyx with Blessed Hero Pred? If I go with the Onyx, you start off with three giant black holes. That should negate some of the Warhorn from Avalon, which, again, for anything outside of PvP, the Warhorn from Avalon is massive because nothing really stops it. You can see examples of that even in the Colosseum when the AI fights. In PvP, for the most part, if somebody has Avalon on, say, a bunch of archers supported by Templars and everything else, the first thing you want to do is void it. That way you can essentially void the Warhorn. In a garrison, the amount of damage that the troops can do immediately and hopefully get a moral boost might be negated by the gravitational surge. Does that warrant enough damage reduction to override Noble Blood? I'm not sure. But if we take it and go one step further and we also put the external void, which this is every time a unit dies, it puts out a mini black hole, or a 9.5 if it's plus a 10% chance for that mini black hole. If you're a human or Rockin or some type of or Lich would be huge for this, where you just have a massive amount of units. All of a sudden, that 9.5 or 10% chance, you're going to get a lot of mini black holes. So I'm not sure if Noble Blood or the Onyx would necessarily be better. I think that's it depends on the race. I don't think the Onyx would be good for Sylph. I think Sylph, no matter what, the Noble Blood wins. For human though, I think that having both the gravitational surge and the eternal void, that might negate enough damage to make up for Noble Blood's damage reduction. It does not make up for the healing aspect, but I don't know. So please let me know your thoughts on all of this. So that's just some of my thoughts. And then of course you need to make room in your garrison, and if the dragon becomes injured, then does the computer automatically start generating what your formations are going to look like? There's a lot of questions I have for this. So if you guys have not seen it in the developers notes, they said that in the September update, your dragon will now be deployable in your garrison. There's a lot of unknowns. We don't know if it takes up energy. We don't know if the dragon can become injured and also affect your gameplay outside of the garrison. If the dragon is injured and you have to either pay 100 Linari or wait for the time, there are a lot of unknowns. What I like about this so far is it allows me to think about the possibilities. And hopefully it gets you guys to think about some too, because half the fun of the game is trying to figure things out. At least I enjoy trying to figure things out. So with that, guys, that should be the video. Remember, in the comments, if you want to ask me a question and have your question answered, leave that comment below. And until tomorrow, guys, take care, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.